Yo, welcome back to the Pipe Bomb Podcast. Might look a little different here today. It's a very, very, very sad episode as we're missing one member of our shield right here. We're missing Joe.
I was about to say that.
We're missing Joe. I guess he's the Mox. He's the Moxley of the group because he's out. But he's out for a good cause. He's out. He's filming our NBA podcast, the round 1 recap and round 2 predictions. He's filming that with our good friends Noah and Lucas. If you want to go check that out, that episode will be live by the time you see this. But right now, it's me and Jay, And so
shout out Anthony Edwards.
Shout out Ant-Man, okay? So, we're just gonna get straight into it. It's the best segment of the podcast, the best segment ever created. We got the guess the action figure, and Jay, I'm
this week.
Hey, this week since there's no Joe, I usually go light when there's Joe. This one, you might have to reach a little bit in your bag, man. A little bit in your bag.
Been ready for this one.
Yeah, no, this is what we have fun for. So I'm gonna do it a little bit different this week. I'm gonna throw all 3 hints at you instead of hint. Take time, hint. All 3 of them going at you. Ready? You ready? All right. This athlete, is a Grand Slam champion.
Okay.
Is currently retired.
Okay.
Currently retired. And they were an NXT champion. So, do what you want. If you need me to repeat any hints.
It's I think it's Shinsuke.
Okay. It
could be Shinsuke? It's not Sammy. It could be Kevin Owens. I'm gonna say Kevin Owens.
Okay, just straight into it. No thoughts.
No. There's not many NXT champions. Finn Balor. I don't think he's Grand Slam. He is Grand Slam. Kevin Owens feels safer. I think it's Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens. You're locking it in.
Seth Rollins. Wow. So
remember,
what do we do here?
Remember, second hint. Currently retired.
It's Kevin Owens. It's Kevin Owens.
They can KO, the big drop.
Or it could be Big E.
Okay.
Damn. All right. Do we get one more hint to end it or what?
I can
ask you a question.
You could do that. We could bend the rules a little bit.
Multiple time world champion.
And that's just something I'm not gonna answer. So
Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens? Locked and loaded. Final answer.
Bring it home. A duct tape shirt.
Quick little drum roll. We got Big E Langston.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, you had it. You had it in your bag, man. But this isn't just any Big E. This is Dolph Ziggler's Big E. This is Big E Langston.
That's 5 count Big E.
Yeah, no, he's dude, that's retro. That's retro Big E. So for this podcast, we're not going to touch on SmackDown. SmackDown is lame. Getting tired of Road Dogg.
Step it up, Road Dogg.
Don't. I don't know what he's doing. So we're kind of just gonna get straight into Raw because Raw was a banger. So started off hot. So do you kind of want to run us through the Raw recap, kind of segment by segment?
Absolutely. Let's start off hot. I think we started off with Jey Uso and Paul Heyman, right?
That we did do.
Yeah, so Jey Uso came out. I'm kind of getting tired of his little run it back, and then we just do the same thing over and over again. I know Joe, if he was here, he'd be sick.
Yeah, Joe.
But I like how they got straight to the point. They're not ducking it. Everybody knows that the main event feud on Monday Night Raw has to involve the Dangerous Alliance of Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins, and Braun Breaker. They got straight to the point. They didn't make us wait, having them do some filler feuds. They went straight for Jey Uso. And with everything that went down on Raw, which we'll save it for the main event. But here in this segment, they kind of set up the match.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman called out the obvious. Hey, we won the main event of WrestleMania. We pinned CM Punk and Roman. We deserve to be the number one contenders. Jey Uso said, "Let's not wait. Let's do it tonight."
Yeah,
Showed some character for Jey Uso.
Yeah, insane.
It's a match we did not expect to get. When isn't Paul Heyman insane?
I mean, whenever you hear the ladies and gentlemen, if you don't get goosebumps, you're not a pro wrestling fan. You're just not.
Did you see what Kevin Owens said on Twitter?
I did not. What did he say?
He said, at Seth Rollins, after the opening promo, he said, at Seth Rollins, do you plan on getting insanely tan like your other two?
Yo, Paul Heyman he took some from Braun Breaker for sure.
Yeah, they were definitely on vacation. These two are scheming. Yeah. They got a little bond that him and Seth definitely don't. They definitely tan together. So.
I like it though. It's cute.
Let's see. I think after that, you got anything to say about that segment? It was a pretty great way to start Raw. Get straight into it.
When does Raw not start off strong though? I thought it was great. I think play my music again. It was getting a little tired of it, but I will say he does it for the crowd because at that point the crowd wants to. What's he supposed to do? Like reject the crowd? So
I get you, but on weeks where he's just cutting a promo, I get it. That's his segment for the week. You run that back. He knew that he was gonna have another entrance tonight. A big entrance at that. So, I mean, we heard it 3 times today.
Hey, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but when you're in the crowd, it's kind of hard if you're in Jay's shoes to reject the crowd. So, that's all I
have to see it live, so I can't complain.
Yeah, for sure.
That's all for that segment?
Yeah, I think that's it. Do we know the next segment?
Of course, we got Penta, who's been doing amazing new theme music this week. Lead guitarist from Tool, great touch, legendary band. Cero Miedo all the way. Last night it really hit me when he got his entrance and they had the camera angles perfectly set with the pyro behind him. It just felt like they really captured Penta in a way that North American companies, I'm not going to throw any shade, but North American companies never quite did. They caught his aura from Mexico. It's just the way he smoothly walks out there and daps up the crowd. It's just they struck lightning in a bottle with this new Rey Mysterio. So
for sure, I catch myself doing the Penta walk in my kitchen, man. It's all the time. It's addictive.
It's an inevitable Fortnite dance too. So
yeah, great match by the way with JD. It was a banger. I love the end sequence with the Mexican Destroyer, the moonsault to the Mexican Destroyer. I thought it was a great way to end the match. So
I did want to ask you, what do you think Penta's finisher is? Because I feel like he's ending his matches every week on a different finisher. We saw the Mexican Destroyer, I think 2 or 3 times now, but is he one of those guys like Gunther where he just doesn't have a finish and it's just whatever the style of the match calls for? If it's a big man, he'll hit something that's easier to hit on a big man. If it's someone like JD, who's a great seller, he'll hit the Mexican Destroyer.
Yeah, I think it just falls into who his opponent is. If he can play into the advantage that JD's a great seller, he's gonna do the Mexican Destroyer. If it's a bigger person, obviously he may not be able to do the Penta Driver, so he has to resort to other stuff. I like the fact that he's able to finish a match in multiple ways, like Gunther, for sure. But Penta Driver is my favorite. I think that move is so sick. I'd say Penta Driver is more of his finisher, but I don't know. He's definitely ended some match with the Mexican Destroyer, which I still love.
It's almost like Daniel Bryan back in the day, who never had a set finisher. He had the Psycho knee, he had the crossface, the diving headbutt, cow mutilator. I love that wrestling style where it kind of protects finishers too. People aren't kicking out of the same move every week. Maybe 1 week someone will kick out of this one, someone will kick out of that one, but you never know. It keeps you on your toes, which we'll get into the main event. False finishes tonight were fantastic.
Yeah.
But Penta, he's on a roll. I think he's become a staple on Monday Night Raw. He's kind of found his role into that second or third match on Monday Night Raw. He's never the opener. He's never really the closer, unless it was that WrestleMania Fatal 4-Way. But I see great things, man. We're going to mention it every week. We're going to keep manifesting it. I can't wait till him and Rey Fenix are back together because no matter how good they are in the singles division, it's just too loaded for them right now.
Yeah.
And the tag division desperately needs the Lucha Brothers to this day. Like,
if the Lucha
WWE
Brothers
has never seen a team like that.
If they got a tag team going, I wouldn't mind them holding the title for over a year, man.
Put some prestige on it and just have some dream matches, man. Can you imagine?
But it would have to be on Raw. I feel like it would have to be on Raw. They are just that good, man.
But with the Hoopers on SmackDown, man, imagine Lucha Brothers and Fraxium.
Oh man,
Lucha Brothers and Motor City, Lucha Brothers and DIY, Street Fighter. They gotta. When is the draft? First of all,
they're not doing a draft this year, man.
They're not doing a draft this year. The tag team division needs some reshaping.
You can see what they're doing, like Roxanne Perez and Julia. They're just calling them up to Raw. So I mean, we'll get into Roxanne and Julia in a little bit, but they're kind of just calling people up to Raw. No draft, because what I've noticed with the draft is they kind of draft people and then they don't really know how to use them. You know, so like they did with Baron Corbin, Kiana James, Cameron Grimes. I loved Cameron Grimes.
Cameron Grimes is on fire right now in the Indies. Trevor Lee, my goodness, I'm gonna send you some clips.
I haven't peeped. I loved his finish. The cave in. I thought that was super creative. He squashed Baron Corbin. I think it was last year when he got drafted. So, but they just never found anything to do with him. So that's why they probably got rid of him. Yeah,
he'll be back. He's one of those guys. He'll be back. He's I think he's like a Drew McIntyre case. If we want to sidetrack here for a second, where he gets fired, he's gonna really bulk up because that's what he's been doing. He's been getting bigger. He cut his hair. He's a different wrestler, and he'll be back.
I hope so. He's great.
All right. So next up, we had Austin Theory coming out. We had a open challenge. I think it was how they phrased it, pretty much. And I think it was last week on the podcast, someone asked, or a couple weeks ago, where's Sheamus?
Yeah.
And here was the answer. Monday Night Raw was fight night, baby. What do you think, Alex?
So good to see Sheamus back in the ring, man. He can wrestle till he's 55, you know?
Man, this guy doesn't age.
Yeah, he doesn't age at all. He looks so good out there. There was one sell. First of all, a hard-hitting guy like Sheamus with a seller like Austin Theory is bread and butter, man. It is so good. There was one move. I think it was a bicycle knee right to Austin Theory's face. Oh, it looked so ouch. Okay, first of all, like genuinely looked like it hurt. But you know, Sheamus is so good in the ring. He's such a good wrestler that you know he protects the people around him. So obviously didn't hurt Theory. But I don't think it's a coincidence. I'll somewhat sidetrack a little bit here. I don't think it's a coincidence that we get this dangerous alliance, and they're kind of picking up with this Austin Theory and Grayson Waller storyline. I don't, you know, we've seen them get a lot of screen time recently, which I love. You know, I really like Austin Theory and I like Grayson Waller. I'm curious to see how they'll go about it, but I think Austin Theory might be that fourth member to the dangerous alliance.
He's the favorite. He's definitely the favorite online. He's my favorite to join. Ever since Triple H took over, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Roman Reigns. Yeah, he said, "Daddy's not here anymore." Like to help you. They've definitely pushed Austin Theory to the side. There was some YouTuber I saw that said the reason they don't think they're pulling the trigger on the face turn is because the tag team division desperately needs A-Town down under. If you break them up right now, what are they? A top 3 team on the Raw division?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd probably New Day are the champs. I'm a really big fan of American Made, and I'd probably put A-Town down in there. I'm not big on the War Raiders.
Like I said last week, I think you keep A-Town down under together and you bring them in to the Dangerous Alliance as a tag team. Why ruin Grayson Waller's career when he's just as good as a heel as Austin Theory is?
That's good. I mean, that's a good point.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that I'm hoping they bring them both in. I hope that it's not this face turn, and I don't know what's in the future for Sheamus. What's the Intercontinental Championship? Is that Raw? No, it's the U.S. Championship.
That he needs to win?
The IC. No. What's on Raw right now? The IC.
Oh yeah.
I don't see him winning that anytime soon. I definitely want him to become a Grand Slam champion, hopefully at WrestleMania.
Man,
but there's a whole year in between now and Mania, so I hope they don't push him off to the side again. We don't know how many years of prime Sheamus we have left.
I think prime Sheamus is always going to be prime Sheamus.
Yeah.
Big Sheamus guy.
Yeah, no, I wasn't the biggest Sheamus fan when he first debuted.
Oh, me
Kind
neither.
of beat John Cena in his first week, but throughout time, leaving wrestling and coming back, seeing that familiar face just still going, same look, same body, same finisher, same everything. It's refreshing to see.
For sure.
So next, we got into Becky and Lyra. I think Becky came out first. She was calling out Bayley, saying how Bayley deserved it.
Garbage actually was the key word that she used. Probably like 18 times. Yeah. How do you feel about Becky?
A lot of people aren't excited for this match and feud. I am the opposite. I'm not excited about the promos every week, but I think the match itself is inevitably going to be fantastic with all their chemistry, and I believe they fought before one time in NXT.
Yeah, Lyra took the title off Becky, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but that was just a completely different Lyra. I believe Becky's still the same. Still my GOAT. There, a lot of people are calling her Becky Hogan. But hey, we're in a world where the horsewoman can come in and just compete for a title. Might as well be my favorite horsewoman. I'm all for Becky winning this Intercontinental Championship. Hopefully Charlotte wins the US Championship. And that leads to a match for the first women's Grand Slam champion.
I can see that. That'd be really sick. I'm not too excited about the match. I'm not excited about what the build-up has been to this match. The match will bang on Saturday. It'll be good, and there's a shock factor. There's like actual shock factor that Lyra could retain, and Becky can put her over, or Becky can win. And I'm really liking this heel Becky. Promos, I don't know, man. I'm really up and down about her promos recently, but I think Lyra.
Becky's promos?
Yeah, I don't know, the promos last week. But I saw this one clip of her making fun of Bayley, and she almost broke character. I don't know if you saw that, but
did you see what she said about Sasha Banks?
Yeah.
She was like, she might have to pay her. She's so confused, she has to pay her best friend $100 to extra.
That was pretty funny. It got a cool giggle out of me, but
Becky's a natural heel, man. I'm glad we're getting this heel Becky as opposed to
Lyra held her own though in those promos. Definitely, I'm a really big Lyra guy. I just don't like the bird gimmick, but she's great.
Lyra might need a mouthpiece for her early days on Raw.
Really?
She's not horrible on the mic. It's just she knows what to say. She just doesn't know how to deliver it. You know what I'm saying?
I think she's fine.
She's all right, but you could tell she's the women's Intercontinental Champion.
That's fair.
She's fine. She's perfectly fine on the mic, but she's the first women's Intercontinental Champion on Netflix on Raw.
Yeah, I guess to take that next leap, the promos definitely have to take a step up, and she might need a mouthpiece. But
how do you feel of Becky joining the Dangerous Alliance as kind of the female representative? I saw that floating around. I wanted to bring that up.
Wow,
pretty coincidental how they both turned heel pretty much on the same night. Her and Seth.
That'd be
24 hours.
I feel like there's kind of two different types of heels, though.
Yeah.
Like Seth is like this mastermind, this visionary. Becky's kind of just like punch you in your mouth, like which is not like a bad thing. Kind of like she's also kind of a comedic heel as well, but it definitely wouldn't be a bad thing. I mean, they're married. They probably pitched the idea, like they probably really want to work together.
Well, I just thought about it. It wouldn't give her really an advantage because what's going to happen? Braun Breaker's going to come out and spear the women's division in half. Like it's pretty much just going to be her just with a couple extra people behind her. It's not the same advantage as a Seth Rollins gets.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would pay to see Braun Breaker spear like Rhea Ripley or something. That would be.
You imagine that? Who's the best seller in the women's division off the top of your head? Io?
Io's good. Zelina Vega is good.
Imagine Io Sky selling a full force Braun Breaker spear.
I mean, that'd be sick, man. And then I could see her like
try it on 2K.
We'll definitely run that, and we'll keep you guys updated on that one.
But pretty skippable segment. I almost skipped it. Caught myself almost skipping it. I'm excited for the match. Hopefully, we move forward and get Becky a big time feud for this championship. Put some prestige on it. Make it something women fight over. Want actually. So straight up next, we had the 4th week of Roxanne Perez on Monday Night Raw. I think this officially makes her a Monday Night Raw superstar. She had a non-title match against Io Sky. What are your thoughts?
I think Roxanne Perez is next up. I think that I really like the pin combo sequence between her and Io. I thought that was sick. Some people obviously aren't a fan of the roll-ups, but personally, I don't mind if it's every once in a while or even if it's just a sequence like that. Got to see Roxanne do something that was a little unlike her with the handshake at the end. Kind of made you think, like, okay. And then Julia comes out and ruins it all, but was expecting a Rhea Ripley
invasion.
Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm not complaining at all. Was expecting a Rhea Ripley save. Didn't happen. So NXT Women, they stood tall in the end, and I'm all for it, man. I am all for it. I loved it.
I'm a huge fan of Io Sky Wrestling Weekly. You don't see many champions putting on banger matches, and even when you do, you kind of see a lot of ego get involved. Hey, we have to be the main event if we're gonna wrestle a match. Yeet. But Io Sky is just like genuinely such a good wrestler. She's by far the best women's wrestler in the WWE, undisputed at this point. And the reason that it's undisputed at this point is because she's not only putting on bangers, 5-star WrestleMania matches, now she's wrestling weekly. What world champion in any promotion do we know right now is wrestling weekly, selling for an NXT up-and-comer who's a future star? Like, I'm blown away. Like, Triple H is cooking with Io Sky. I wish he gave every other woman the same treatment, but at the same time, Io Sky's just in a class of her own at this point.
Yeah, very selfless of her. I think she rocks, bro. I think Io is my favorite in the women's division. I've made that clear.
Man, you've been calling it since the beginning. Yeah. Even when I wasn't saying she was the best, she's definitely the best.
Yeah, no, she's definitely stepped it up, especially because people didn't want her to win that title at Mania. People didn't want her to retain, and I think
Joe and I said she had the least chance watching it live.
And I don't shame you. She's the underdog, but I think she's proven that she can ride, bro. She can ride with the best of them for sure.
Hopefully she keeps going. Be a little hypocritical here. I know we usually say we don't like long title reigns here on this podcast, but the way they're doing it, where she's wrestling weekly, let this world championship be an Io Sky showcase. Give us everybody. Give us every challenger that we can possibly run through in this world title reign until eventually we get somebody that beats her. But huge props to Io Sky this week. I can't wait to get into our power rankings.
Yeah, no, power rankings, just expect Io for sure. Oh, next segment?
Yeah, next segment we got Otis versus Rusev. Fantastic entrance by Rusev.
Bro.
Fantastic. That Lion's Roar perfectly timed. It caught me off guard, I will say. I laughed the first time I saw it. It didn't give me that badass, like, first impression they wanted, but when I resaw the clip on Twitter, it grew on me. I'm like, all right, it's less corny than him screaming loudly every week onto the mic.
Yeah.
We got what we got. What we expect the Rusev match to be. What do you think for the next 2 months? He's just gonna get straight squashes. What do you think?
Yeah, they're gonna look for jobbers, man. Look for jobbers just to make Rusev look strong and just build
local talent.
Yeah, maybe we'll see some local talent.
Maybe some invincible wrestlers, huh?
Yeah. Hey, chill. Maybe we'll get a squash with Austin Theory, and maybe that's Austin Theory's last straw or something. But right. Rusev, they gotta book him like this big, strong guy. I'm kind of sad that we didn't get Braun Strowman versus Rusev. I would have loved that match because Braun Strowman's released. But
we're gonna get into these releases here at the end of the podcast a little bit.
Yeah, we'll do a little bit. It was nothing too shocking.
There's one, I believe.
I think maybe we're thinking about the same person.
We'll kind of run them down.
I will say, now that Sheamus is back, Rusev versus Sheamus, book it.
Have we seen that? Weren't they in that was the League of Nations?
Yeah, League of Nations. We've seen them together.
They just signed Alberto Del Rio too. Pretty controversial. So
Hey,
we have the whole League of Nations under the same roof.
Wade Bear can hang with them for sure.
Yeah,
so
we might get a little reunion. Triple H has the opportunity to do something really funny.
Yeah, and it would be really sick. I love the League of Nations.
I like it. I like how Tozawa stood up to him. He kind of pretended he wasn't going to do anything. Came back. Rusev. What a transformation, man. He was this brute, but back then it was mass. It was just this big guy that can move, no muscle. It was just straight, like mass.
Mm-hmm.
And then he leaves for a couple years, come back. He looks like a Greek god almost.
Dude, he looks
insanely shredded.
He looks so good. It's oh my gosh. Oh, I need to stop.
So yeah, the full match, including entrances, was under 3 minutes. So
yeah,
we got what we got. What we expect to see, I think, for the next 2 months until he runs into some big challenge. Maybe I don't know, but I don't think he should compete for any belts anytime soon. Just keep letting him do what he does. Get the crowd familiar with him, build him as this big Mark Henry, big show-like brute that's just going to run through the division everybody's terrified of. And let's see where we go. Hopefully they don't fumble him because after that debut, I was kind of worried.
No, I got faith. I got faith in Rusev.
Yeah. So then we get into Gunther and Pat McAfee, who Pat McAfee cut a pretty emotional promo, made Michael Cole tear up a little bit. Gunther vows to destroy Pat McAfee. What are your thoughts on this?
This got me hyped. This got me really hyped. Pat McAfee is just he is the mic,
Yeah.
He's been around the mic for like so long in his post NFL career, and he's so good. He knows how to control a crowd. It's honestly unbelievable. And
he loves wrestling, man.
And he's so passionate about it. And even with Pat McAfee's promo, I was like, okay, I'm hyped. And then you hear Gunther's promo. Gunther. You hear that promo where he says, what did he say? He said, not even what was it? The grace of God will take my arms around your neck. Ew. Oh, disgusting.
Yeah, he's gonna kill him,
dude. This is gonna be a squash match. People are saying it's gonna build to Goldberg, but
that's kind of where it's headed. That's kind of where I feel. Which Gunther's kind of lollygagging right now. A lot of people would say in this feud,
which is fine.
I prefer it. I prefer a Pat McAfee feud, which is it. This is sports entertainment at the end of the day.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. There's a professional wrestling company that I do enjoy. I go to that company to watch professional wrestling. Over here, I come to watch sports entertainment, wrestling, and entertainment. If Gunther's not going to be the world heavyweight champion, if Gunther's not going to be the intercontinental champion, let's get him some views on TikTok. Let's get him some views on Twitter. Let's get him in there with Pat McAfee, and hopefully it leads to a Goldberg squash. Which if it's under a couple minutes, we'll watch it here on the podcast. So you guys can see the smile on my face.
Yeah, no. If he feuds with Goldberg, he's definitely gonna win, and I think he's gonna squash McAfee. Which
I'm thinking the McAfee match won't be a squash in the sense of it be quick, but it'll be a squash in the sense of it'll be brutal, kind of how Braun Breaker did Sammy. But
it's gonna hurt.
No one comes out to help him. But let's see. I'm excited.
It'll be fun for sure. Yeah.
All right, and that leads us straight into the main event. What the hell did we watch this main event? Wow, this was a WrestleMania-worthy match, Alex. What do you think, man? I have a lot to say, so let's get straight into it.
I mean, I just don't have words for it. This is arguably one of the greatest Raw main events, man, in my humble opinion. And this crowd was rowdy, man. This crowd was... And they were blessed. They were blessed with a beautiful card. Phenomenal match. I don't even know how to describe this match, truly, because the match was so good that if there was no shenanigans, I would have been happy. I would have been fine.
The shenanigans took away from it a little bit.
And which I'm not even too mad about. I mean, maybe I'm a little bit mad about Sammy coming out, but I think Sammy coming out was to increase the shock factor of Punk coming out, because I did not think CM Punk was coming out at all. Did not know he was in the building or anything. perfectly fine with it ending in a disqualification. Perfectly fine. Looks like
I mean, it was such a good match in the sense that for a Monday Night Raw Championship match, I genuinely had no idea who was going to win this match. Yeah. There was a sequence where Jey Uso hit the spear. Maybe he hit 2 spears. I can't remember correctly. He went up to the rope. He hit the Uso splash after the whole Sami Zayn stuff, and I'm like, man, this match is gonna end like this. Shenanigans with a Jey Uso pin in the middle of the ring, and Seth Rollins kicked out. What a false finish, man. This match had so many of those. Just 2.99 kickouts. Seth Rollins once again caught a spear into a pedigree. What a beautiful counter. That's kind of kryptonite for the bloodline, I think, now that Seth Rollins figured out their spear. Even for Braun Breaker, I think Braun Breaker should be paying attention to how calculated Seth is with that spear. What a match, man. It was super kick, spear, Uso splash, kick out 2.99. What a sequence.
Insane. Man. And this match brought out the best in Jey Uso. Jey Uso looked great. Like, he looked so good.
Okay, I will say.
Because of Seth.
Seth Rollins could have a great match with anybody.
Yeah.
But I caught myself. I said, man, why couldn't Jey Uso do this against Gunther? Why couldn't he perform like this? And then I thought to myself, okay, it's Seth freaking Rollins who he's in the ring with right now.
Yeah, man, you gotta think, bro. Seth freaking Seth Rollins is truly if you would have asked me a year ago, I wouldn't say Seth Rollins was I wasn't on the Seth Rollins train. But now
you knew he was the best wrestler in the company. It was probably the overall character you didn't like.
No, I wouldn't even say he was the best wrestler. I would have said Gunther was better. Truly.
Really? Okay, that's 1 and 2.
Now I can say Seth is the best wrestler, and I think Seth is a generational talent.
Absolutely.
Truly. So,
and they're presenting him as such now. A lot of the times he was the fall guy. He would be in the big feuds. He wasn't scared to take a pin, but now he's getting that presentation. Now he's the Roman Reigns. Now he's the top guy of the show. Real quick, Paul Heyman, best heel of all time. Did you see how he stopped the crowd from singing his song?
Yeah.
He started singing it himself, trying to get the crowd to sing it, and they did not sing it. He found the recipe. Because last week we were talking about the crowd being heel. No, Paul Heyman is the heel. You cannot out-heel Paul Heyman.
No, he's just brilliant, dude. And seeing him with Braun Breaker, and Braun Breaker going to be able to learn from... Braun Breaker is in such a good position to succeed with Seth Rollins over one shoulder and Paul Heyman over the other. It's it's beautiful. Braun Breaker.
Oh my goodness, though. I just hope they take their time. Don't rush the turn. Let them be a stable for a couple years. Evolution was around for 3 years. We don't have these long Judgment Day is the only recent example. I got to give them credit. I need them to stick around for a while. I don't want a heel turn anytime soon. I want them to actually build Braun Breaker into what Evolution did for Batista.
Yeah, no, they gotta. This faction has to dominate. I want to see them over the course of multiple Manias. They need to dominate Monday Night Raw. I don't care if they open the show and end the show every Monday Night Raw for the next 2 years, 3 years. I think they're so good, and it's so fresh that Monday Night Raw is so much better than SmackDown, but it's because this faction is just something new, and it's all the WWE fans, we're all just rubbing our hands together. We're excited whenever we see those three on the screen. It's brilliant what Triple H is doing.
Yeah, they're getting the camera angles for this faction fantastic. There was one segment in that match where Braun Breaker was kind of slithering through the outside, and you see the camera behind him where the referee doesn't see him, just kind of lining up for the spear to come when he's outside. And yeah, I'm not a fan of the false finish. It protected both men, but that's very WCW booking to end a great match.
I was okay with it.
What does this lead to? A Seth CM Punk feud, and then we get what? Sam?
So,
I don't know what's happening here.
So it's weird because I think
Logan attacked Jay after the show went off the air. I saw that.
Yeah. So I heard about that. So Logan and Jay is not on Backlash.
It's not.
It's not on Backlash.
Oh, I thought it was on Backlash.
That's why they threw in I mean, and we can double check. I mean, I will double check, but to my knowledge, yes, it's not. I'm looking at the card right now. It's not listed on the card. That's why they threw in the Dom and Penta match.
Okay.
So, don't know what they're gonna do. They might. What I heard on Twitter was they're gonna throw in Logan Paul and Jey Uso at Saturday night's main event in Tampa,
So we'll
Florida.
watch it possibly, huh?
In Tampa, Florida, and if you know anything about us, we might be there. So definitely, and John Cena's gonna be there. So I'm hyped.
Never seen 17.
Never seen 17. We'll get into him in these Backlash predictions, but where else do we want to go with this? Do we want to dabble a little bit on NXT with?
Yeah, let's get right into it, man. What a NXT card. I didn't watch the full show. I will say I was falling asleep during some parts of it. Great battle royale. We started off very familiar face. I wouldn't be surprised if he's related to two wrestlers we've seen before. We saw TNA's Elijah.
Oh yeah, I agree.
A lot of people would say he looks like Ezekiel and Elias. I see the resemblance. I think they're just kind of caught up on the guitar and the singing gimmick, but
Well, no. I mean, let me stop you right there, Jay. It's the same guy, right? Like, even Ezekiel and Elias were the same person, and it's just
the twin brothers from Pandemic era. Oh, come on! You're way too big of a Kevin Owens fan. First Grande Americano. I didn't know we had pipe bomb.
Okay, no.
Conspiracies over here now,
Are you sick? Grande Americano is Chad Gable, but we're past that, okay? He wore a Grande Americano shirt.
Right, Chad Gable?
Yeah.
Well, he was showing love because Grande Americano had a speed championship match, which he's now the champion.
I mean, yeah, but dude, I mean, what? Like, where does he even get that? Grande Americano doesn't even. Where is he been?
Let me get this straight. You think that Elijah is related to the twins Ezekiel and Elias?
Well, they're not twins. We're getting really far off the sidetrack, but it's like
I'm gonna have to do some research on this one. They looked alike.
You don't have to. You don't.
The thing is with WWE, if they own the name Elias, they're not gonna let him come in as Elijah. You get what I'm saying?
No.
Does that make any sense?
No, I actually have no idea what you're saying.
I don't know.
Same person.
They posted a family photo back in the day. I'm gonna have to look into it, and we'll get into it next week. We'll show Joe and see where his head's at. But
okay,
Alex, I think
for sure.
I think the conspiracies are going a little crazy, man.
No,
he's a great talent, but he's definitely younger than those two. Elias was getting old. No, this guy wasn't a step above 30.
Well, no, you got to stay off the Henny, man. I mean, we'll let Joe decide, but because surely Joe has some sanity. I mean, like, he's my brother, like,
right.
We think the same and stuff. So we'll show him next week, and we'll be sure to show him if he's going to be on the pod. Which, God, man, I mean, I'm losing brain cells talking to you, so I really hope he's on the pod. But yeah,
anyway, moving on from the triplets, we get into the winner of the battle royale, Miles Bourne, Baby Randy. What do we think?
I think he's sick, dude. I think he's really good, and I think nobody expected him to win.
He got such a hype train behind him out of nowhere,
dude. Right? And it's like wrestling's predetermined, right?
Really?
So imagine if he didn't have that hype train. During the match, and then people hated it.
Yeah,
I think this was amazing. This was amazing booking. When it got to the final four of Ethan Page, Shawn Spears, Javon, and Miles, I was like, dude.
He was kind of the last person I thought would win there.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I kind of thought it was gonna be him. I was like, dude, it'd be sick if it was Miles, dude. Like, we've seen Javon and Obafemi. I'm not sure if we've seen. I think we've seen Shawn Spears and Oba.
I'm pretty sure.
It might have been for the North American title. I don't know who dethroned Oba.
I think it was a multi-man that they were both involved in.
Okay, and then Ethan Page versus Oba. I'm pretty sure. Did Oba dethrone Ethan Page or did he dethrone Trick?
Oba's a 2-time champion.
For NXT, the NXT title?
Yeah.
Did he dethrone Ethan Page at all or no?
I believe so.
Okay,
No,
so
I think it was Trick. He beat Trick. He beat Trick.
He beat Trick both times?
Yeah.
Okay.
Trick
Well,
it.
not too caught up on my NXT lore, but Miles it felt like something new. And I feel like he deserves it, man. And so I'm really proud of him.
25 years old.
Yeah.
You think he wins? You think he beats Obafemi? I could see a world where he wins. I don't think they pull the trigger. If they're on Twitter at all, they would pull it. They'd make him the champion. But what do you think?
It's tough. I can definitely see them flip flopping. Like he gets it at a pay per view, and then the next couple nights on NXT, Oba wins it back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I would like to see him win it. I think if he wins it and Oba doesn't win it back, then Oba's got to get called up to the main roster, man. For sure. He's done. He has nothing left.
Yeah, but where does he fit on the main roster? I was thinking about that because a lot of people are saying that. Like, do we have another big man come in? It's so crowded on the main roster. So crowded. I'm hearing Trick's gonna come up. I'm hearing Obafemi. I'm hearing.
I would call Oba and Ethan Page before I call up Trick. For sure.
You think Trick got some time to do an NXT still?
He still has some time. I like him as a heel. If they did one more babyface run just to get a groove of how he is as a babyface, I think he's much better as a heel. Much better. But
I do want to say, if they were going to have Mello be in a tag team on the main roster, why not just bring Trick Williams up with him and build them up together? You haven't stuck with Mello and Miz. Not stuck. They grew on me.
No, don't say that. Yeah.
But I don't know, man. There's just... the tag team division on WWE, they do not take it seriously. Build some tag teams.
Yeah, I mean, if Trick got called up, got sent to SmackDown, I could see it. Both of them are great.
Turning on the Miz, yeah.
Ooh, I didn't even think about that. I was thinking they go under the Miz's wing, and then if they went
that's good too.
Under the Miz's wing, and then that's a cool little faction there, and then maybe they turn on the Miz because Miz can be a babyface or a heel.
Whoop that Miz.
Whoa. Hey, we're getting into it. But yeah, I don't know because there's so much NXT talent, man. That you can just do whatever you want.
Is Joe Hendry an NXT guy now? Like officially, we got him the last couple weeks cutting promo. He was in the 6-man tag against Dark State. I believe he's going against not Obafemi, against Trick Williams for the TNA Championship. It's been known he's in the Performance Center, but what do we think? You think he's just on NXT now?
Not until the contract is up. I mean, he's for sure going to WWE when the contract's up.
Yeah, it's the worst kept secret in the industry.
Yeah, but I would say he's not officially in NXT because he had a run like this. I think it was sometime last year, where he was on NXT for a little bit, and then he obviously went back to TNA, won the title. So I wouldn't say he's officially an NXT guy yet, but he will be.
This is prominent, though, man. This was a prominent match he was in.
So
and lost at that.
Yeah, I don't know. They did a good job protecting him, though. I would say for Joe Hendry. Having Trick come out, building towards that feud, and having Hank and Tank. I love Hank and Tank, by the way. I think they're sick.
Yeah, they're great.
Having them take
the only option to beat Fraxium, and they were smart with it.
Yeah.
What do we think of Dark State? Do you know much about them? Last thing I want to touch on NXT.
Yeah, unfortunately, my favorite person in Dark State didn't wrestle. And that is, correct me if I'm wrong, Shamar. Is it? It's
Sugars.
Sugars.
I know who you're talking about. He used to have some bangers with Javon back in the 80s.
In DPW.
Yeah.
He was known as Lucky Ali.
Yeah.
I know some ball.
Okay, Alex.
Try.
Yeah, Dark State. Timu Shield, as they're known on X. I don't know if I want to endorse that nickname yet. They have a very impressive entrance where they kind of flash into the four of them. They split the frame up. Did you see that?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's sick. I like it.
Hopefully they give them more to do. I like the Black Air Force.
Yeah, there's just one guy I can't get behind. That's Cutler James.
Okay, yeah, he's from LFG, so it's kind of
Yeah,
it kind of hurts kayfabe because I used to watch LFG, so I would see him competing for an NXT contract, and then
and
I'd watch NXT, and he was on NXT.
yeah, and he didn't win LFG, so it's kind of just
Yeah.
like you can still get a contract, like, but I like Dark State. They still have more building to do. You know, they're in NXT for a reason. You know,
They don't feel like they'll ever be on the main roster as a team, though. I feel like this is a team that's gonna start and end in NXT.
for sure.
Maybe like the Nexus, the baby faces are gonna stick together, get their feel good moment. Let's see. That's pretty much it for NXT. Julia had her last match, I want to say, in NXT against Jordan Grace.
That
Jordan Grace,
that was a really
she's a favorite of a lot of people, but she was very unsafe this match.
dude, dropped Julie on her head. You
Twice.
saw that,
Twice.
dude.
Julia kind of was defending her because she comes from Stardom. She has that strong style in her. She's not gonna get hurt, but man, you are playing a dangerous game. I don't even think Julia should have had this match on NXT. She's fully on Raw, in my opinion. This was kind of just to feed into their NXT women invading Monday Night Raw. But yeah, Jordan Grace. I'm not sure if she's gonna ever be an NXT champion. I think she's kind of here getting her feet wet to get called up to the main roster. What do you think?
Yeah, I kind of wish Julia would have won the match because I love Julia. I think she's sick. Not too much on the Jordan Grace thing. I think she's great. I think she's awesome. But like, she's not in my top 3, top 4 women in the NXT division. But like as my favorites, you know, I think she's great. And obviously, she'll probably take the title off of Stephanie Backlash maybe at some point. But
She's definitely loved by the fans.
yeah, which you know I can see. But as for Julia getting her feet wet in this main roster, I think it's great. Heel Julia, I'm here for it. Julia can do anything. She can do no wrong. Big fan of her. Just great in the ring. Is she permanently associating herself with Roxanne Perez? Don't really know. Are they just heels?
Probably just heels.
Yeah.
Probably just getting her feet wet on the main roster.
But you know, I definitely want to see some more Julia on the main roster.
So now that you mentioned that invasion here, her and Roxanne sticking together, let's kind of parlay that into the releases here. Last week we mentioned Cora Jade. And some people would say Pipebomb predicts strikes again. Alex, we had a dialogue, you and me and Joe, where Joe said, "Hey, what happened to Cora Jade?" I said she got hurt. Said again, she might be cooked. 48 hours later, we get the news that she's released. Pretty much out of nowhere. I really do think that her spot was on where Julia is on the main roster, which is why they took the titles off of Julia to kind of get her to replace the storyline. It's kind of all making a little more sense. But man, I did not see that coming. I think out of all these releases, even Braun Strowman, this is the most shocking one. They were treating her like her and Roxanne like Paige and AJ Lee.
Yeah.
With Roxanne being AJ and Cora being Paige.
Especially with her, like I think Cora Jade is amazing. You know, I think she's great.
She was great. Great character work too. Elena Black on the Indies, man.
Yeah, I mean, and her being so close with such a popular figure like CM Punk, I just feel like this kind of hurts the chemistry, you know, in the locker room a little bit. Maybe not. No, actually, no, I do, because I think Roxanne Perez was, her and Roxanne Perez were so good together. Now Roxanne kind of has to gel with Julia, which they're not doing a terrible job.
It's forced chemistry, but they still got to learn it.
Yeah, which, I mean, undoubtedly her and Cora Jade would have been better.
Yeah, instant chemistry.
On the main roster with CM Punk, I mean, I don't know. It sucks. It's business, but I was a big Cora Jade guy, for sure.
Do we think she'll be back?
Oh, for sure.
Or do we think
we'll see her back.
She takes a different route? She goes to AEW. She burns her bridges, or do we think she kind of plays it cool and comes back eventually?
Not too sure. She was kind of dissing WWE on Twitter.
Yeah, she's burning bridges. She was quick to change her name back to Elena Black, which I don't blame her. Why sit there in sorrow? when you can get straight to it. She has got into other ventures I saw on Twitter already.
Yeah,
she's got to figure it out.
We can I think we can definitely see her back because Triple H is definitely with making up again. You know, he definitely doesn't hold grudges, but
Right.
yeah, some crazy releases. Cora Jade probably the most surprising, but now
Braun Strowman as well. What do you think?
Yeah, Braun Strowman kind of hurt, but he gets released once a year. I feel like so.
Especially after all Paul Heyman said. Did you hear what Paul Heyman was saying about how he sucks?
Yeah,
It definitely hit.
Starting the pot, I guess you could say, but Paul Heyman can say whatever he wants, whenever he wants. So, but finally, for the last segment, we got our Backlash match predictions. This will be short. There's only 4 or 5 matches on the card. I'll read the card out. We can just say what we think, how we think it's gonna go. First up, we have Dom and Penta, and I don't think that this is something you have to think about much. I think it's Dom. They kind of just threw this match out there with no build or anything, just threw it. So I think
this is the beginning of Latino Heat Dom. You already see the shirts are made. I think we're gonna get that. Hopefully some classic Eddie playbooks like the chair. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I hope we get this. I noticed that last Monday with the Latino Heat shirt. If they're gonna play into the Latino Heat character, they better play into the Latino Heat character.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's just without a doubt that Dom wins this. I mean, unless Finn Balor wants to get involved, but
even then, you're not gonna give Dom a 2-week title reign.
No,
his first
championship reign. So I think we can pretty handedly go Dom here. Next up, we have the Fatal 4-Way United States Championship with Jacob Fatu, LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest. I'll keep this one short and simple. Nobody's taking this title off Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, that I mean.
Not that I mean, you know, nobody. I guess the question here is who's going to take the pin, and I think it's LA Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
he's become the fall guy in this division for the foreseeable future. Get him on Raw, man. We're gonna talk to Joe. I want to do a segment here where we can kind of draft our perfect roster with shakeups we would do. Maybe step into Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce's shoes and make some good trades.
Hey, that could be fun. That could be a lot of fun.
LA Knight is one of those guys that'll benefit from being on Netflix. That I'm just excited to see some change in LA Knight because he's gonna keep taking these pins and he's gonna ruin his stock.
Yeah, definitely. We'd love to see that shake-up segment, so stay tuned for that. But next up, we have Lyra and Becky. I will just say that I'm a Becky believer, and I think Becky will take this one for the greater good of the business. No shame to Lyra. Lyra's amazing, phenomenal in the ring, but for storyline purposes and for the future of Grand Slam champion, first women's Grand Slam champion, I think Becky takes this.
This belt needs some prestige, and it's no diss to Lyra. I'm sure one day, when it's all said and done, 20 years from now, we look back, we're gonna be like, "Dang, Lyra, Becky." But as of right now, Lyra's not Becky. Yeah. As of right now, she's an up-and-comer who won the championship, and it built her up to become a more known name. But Becky Lynch is Becky Lynch, man. At the end of the day, Becky Lynch is already going to be a Hall of Famer. She's already done everything in this company. She can retire tomorrow, and she's set.
Yeah.
I want to see her win this belt. I want to see her and Charlotte fight for the first Grand Slam champion. Because who deserves it more? Nobody. That's the only two.
Yeah. I mean, I think you just said it best. That nobody deserves it more.
But Becky wins for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Next up we have Gunther General and Pat McAfee. I think I just speak for everybody in existence by saying there's no way that Gunther loses this match.
0.
Yeah, no. It's kind of just how he's going to win. And, I mean, even then, that's not much of a question. Pat McAfee's going to pass out. So, I guess we'll get into...
If we see Goldberg.
Yeah. Goldberg will be interesting for sure, but seeing if we see him. Now, the main event. We got Cena. We got Orton. St. Louis. How we feeling?
It's going to be what it's going to be. Cena versus Orton, it's a nostalgia fest. This kind of... You think there's going to be any more matches? This is it. Just 4 matches?
I believe it's 5. Let me see. So we have Cena, we have Becky, we have Gunther, US, and IC. So we have 5 titles or 5 matches.
So that's kind of what Triple H has been doing on.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good match. It's going to be what it's going to be. It's the last time we're ever going to see this match. John Cena's a man of his word. As much as we want it, Randy Orton's not going to come out as a 15, 16-time world champion.
Yeah.
We're going to see John Cena's first heel title defense. We're going to see him really turn the crowd against him on Saturday night. I think we even see like something dirty, like Joe said. Maybe he just slaps the ref.
I hope we get that finish, man. I hope. So it can build
It'll be interesting to see. Everybody wants to see a punt kick, but imagine it's not Randy that punts John. It's John that punts Randy.
Yeah, Randy said he was going to get a punt kick going. So
yeah,
maybe. So definitely excited for that. But if he gets one off, then Cena can't kick out of that.
Can you imagine the reaction on Twitter if Randy Orton lines up in the corner, punts John Cena in the head, goes for the pin, 1 kick out?
I
think that's how you get John Cena hated. I think if he no-sells, if he super Cena, if he gets punt kicked, kicks out at 1, picks him up, AA wins the match, that's how you get a heel John Cena. Can you imagine?
That's risky, though. That is very risky, but...
I saw your face when I said kicks out at 1. You did not expect that, huh?
Yeah, I was expecting that, too. You didn't say 2. I had to... had to check if...
No-sells it completely.
Had to check if the mic cut out or something, but, yeah, I think Cena takes this one. It'll be a good match. I'm confident. A lot of people are questioning if this will be a good match. I don't think Orton at this point in career can put out a bad match, even if you want to question Cena. I think Orton is in like his 2nd or 3rd prime. He's
at this point.
Yeah, he's built. He's amazing. I think Cena takes this one in St. Louis and gets a lot of heat for it. So, yeah.
You think we see some, if Cena wins, we riot signs?
Man, that would be sick. Because it's almost, what was it? ECW One Night Stand with Rob Van Dam. Mm-hmm. And but now this version of Cena doesn't throw his shirt into the crowd or anything. So it's not like they can throw it back at him.
I mean,
I would love to see something like that. Just something to just like prove Cena's point about the fans, about how they don't appreciate him.
But yeah, I'm excited. Backlash, not a lot of build. Definitely a B-tier pay-per-view.
Yeah.
A lot of people would say a WrestleMania calm down. Next we have Survivor Series.
Next
we have Money in the Bank or Survivor. What's next?
No, it's not Survivor. Survivor Series is September. Money in the Bank's usually in June. I think next pay-per-view is...
Well, Backlash
Saturday
is the... Oh, yeah, that's... We got 2 this month, technically.
Yeah. So, Saturday main event and then Money in the Bank. Should be good. I'm excited. It's not the craziest card, but we need nights like this, where we can just chill. But I'm certainly excited. Anything else you want to add, Jay, to the fans?
Nah, man. Stay tuned next week. We're gonna have a Backlash review.
For sure.
Back to our regular time. We're a couple days late. We had life get in the way a little bit, but here we are.
Yep.
We're never gonna miss a week for the foreseeable future. We'll be back with Alex's famous segment, the world famous Guess the Figure. Alex, I'm catching you, man. Every week I'm getting closer. This week the answer was in my top 2.
Look at these quads, man. God,
I'm telling you, man. Biggie, we want you back. Biggie, bring it home.
Yeah.
Come solve this New Day issue we have on Monday Night Raw.
I picked him hoping he could watch this podcast and see that I called him.
Oh, speaking of something, let's touch on my Twitter. Shout out to my new mutual, to a close friend of mine, one of my followers on Twitter, John Cena. Thank you for the follow.
It's a fact, guys.
We appreciate it.
Jay.
The child in me. If I was back in 5th grade, I would have genuinely cried. If I had a time machine, I would take my phone the moment I got followed by John Cena, and show 4th grade me when I was opening a Twitter what was going on. But yeah, he'll probably never see it, but shout out to you, John. You made a kid's dream come true.
Yeah.
And
I was geeked. I was geeked for you, you know. So that kind of explains how the week has been. You know, life definitely got in the way. Maybe we took the day off just to decompress from the John Cena follow. Maybe that's our excuse.
Right,
But you know, tap in with all our socials. House 1055 on TikTok, on Instagram.
shout out to Joe, Noah, Lucas filming right now simultaneously.
Yes, sir. They're filming at the same time as us. You know, nobody's grinding like we are. They're filming the round 1 recap of the NBA playoffs and round 2 predictions. So please make sure you guys tap into that if you are a big fan of the NBA. Also, we have The Last of Us reviews and Andor reviews. That will be by Joe and Noah, and maybe I'll be there if you guys like me enough, but to review The Last of Us. But I think that's all we have for today. It was a pleasure to do this with you, Jay. Hopefully we get Joe back next week when he wants to stop being Hollywood. And I'll see you guys next week.
Come home, Mox.
Yes, sir.
Right.
That was good.
What a pod, man. Wow. Didn't
That
miss
was
a
good.
step.
Yeah.
How long did we go? Did you time it?
I don't know. I was thinking about timing.